وعلى حبيبنا وسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما والحقنا بعبادك الصالحين. أما بعد، يروي الإمام البخاري في صحيحه بسند صحيح عن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله تعالى عنه وارضاه. Today's hadith is also part of the outreach or the performing da'wah series, and this hadith is a very famous hadith, and I thought I could mention it and talk about it for a couple of minutes inshallah. عن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله تعالى عنه وارضاه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بلغوا عني ولو آية وحدثوا عن بني إسرائيل ولا حرج ومن كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. The Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام, he mentions three things, and they're connected in terms of the theme. That's why the hadith comes in this manner. But the first part is the part that I would like to talk about the most. That the Prophet ﷺ says, بلغوا عني ولو آية, that convey and transmit and talk whatever you have learned from you, even if it was one ayah, one verse of the Quran. Now there's two ways to understand this short sentence. بلغوا عني ولو آية. Ayah, when you say ayah, the first thing that comes to your mind is ayah from the Quran, a verse from the Quran. But also you have to understand that the Sahaba didn't really learn the Quran the way we did. They didn't really just memorize the words. They actually, you know how you hear the hadith that Umar ibn al-Khattab took him 9 months to memorize Surah al-Baqarah or something like that, and after he did, he actually had to sacrifice a camel for it. He wasn't just memorizing the words, he actually understood everything about it in terms of the ayah, in terms of all the applications of it. So this is more of a general understanding that even if you understand one concept of Islam, that use it to teach someone else. بلغوا عني ولو آية. And the Sahaba actually understood this hadith. They really understood it to the point that, and you have to understand also, not all the Sahaba were scholars in the modern sense of the word. Now, don't make a mistake. One Sahabi, even if he saw the Prophet for 1 hour, is better than anyone living on the planet today. We understand that status-wise, there's no comparison, of course. But in terms of knowledge, some of them had a limited amount of knowledge and they worked with it. That's all they did. Some of them met the Prophet for 1 hour, 2 hours, or a few days, and they went back home and they conveyed what they learned. That's how it worked. So there's a madkhal min madakhil ash-shaytan. There's a back door for Iblis that would come to you and say, well, leave da'wah for someone else because you actually you don't know much about your religion, which is not 100% accurate, because in reality every one of us should learn something and should teach it also outside. I'm sure there's a lot that you can teach, especially for someone who doesn't really know a lot about Islam, the basic things. But also there's a little nuance in it. The Prophet ﷺ says, بلغوا عني ولو آية. That first you have to learn from him, that he's not around. So we learned from the people who actually learned from people who learned, and up to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Sahaba understood this hadith this way. Whatever they learned, they taught, and the Tabi'in, the second generation, did the same thing. And then the other parts of the hadith, حدثوا عن بني إسرائيل ولا حرج, that we can talk and we can discuss and we can consider the traditions of Bani Israel, of the Jews and the Christians and the previous nations, given that it's not clearly fabricated or that contradicts our religion. But if it's in coincidence with our religion, then there's absolutely no issue with that. And the third part, من كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. And this is the hadith that makes those who work in the field of riwayat al-hadith, of narrating the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, this part makes them lose sleep because they have to really make sure. But you underline the word muta'ammidan, that those who actually forge a hadith, those who actually I think I didn't translate this part, but من كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار, that he who forges deliberately a hadith or something, a saying against me, against the Prophet ﷺ, فليتبوأ, that let him take nar, Jahannam, the hellfire, as a domicile for him. يتبوأ, the shay is to take it as home, basically. So this is a clear warning But the first part of the hadith that I would like my younger brothers and sisters to actually, number one, to seek knowledge, whatever it is that you know, and share this knowledge, inshallah, with your friends and with your family. Jazakumullah khair. I hope this was of benefit. Just before we pray sunnah, the mother of Sheikh Jarrah passed away. I just learned, so we're going to pray Salatul Ghaib, inshallah.